Hello, welcome to the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. It's always a delight to bring you this program where we can engage political issues, and you also have the opportunity to have a buy-in to the conversation. These are certainly not the best of times for ex-Kogi State Governor YAHAYA Bello, because he is now on the run. For some, is a fugitive because the EFCC are on his trail to apprehend him and prosecute him for alleged money laundering allegations. I mean, it's an interesting story that is building up, and the expectations are high on how this story is going to pan out. Will the EFCC ever succeed in finding, arresting, apprehending, and compelling YAHAYA Bello to face charges for the crimes that he has committed, economic crimes as it were? Only time will tell. But let's give you an update of some of the stories that are trending right now on that matter. The American International School of Abuja, ISA, has asked the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to provide authentic banking details for the refund of fees paid for the children of YAHAYA Bello, the immediate past governor of Kogi State. Bello allegedly paid $720,000 in advance as fees for 5 of his children from the coffers of Kogi State government. The children are in grade level 2 to 8 at the school. On April 17, EFCC operatives laid siege to Bello's residence in Abuja in an attempt to arrest him over an alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud. Some say 84 billion naira fraud. While the operatives were at the house, Usman Ododo, governor of Kogi State, arrived at the property and reportedly whisked Bello away. In a letter addressed to the Lagos Zonal Commander of the EFCC, the school said the sum of $845,852 has been paid in tuition since the 7th of September 2021 to date. ISA said the sum to be refunded is $760,910 because it had deducted educational services already rendered. Please forward to us an official written request with the authentic banking details of the EFCC for the refund of the above mentioned funds as previously indicated as part of your investigation. That's one of the story that is trending right now as it relates to the travails of ex-governor of Kogi State, talking about YAHAYA Bello. Now the school is asking the EFCC to send an account for the money to be paid in. But let's see how all of that will pan out. Well, former governor of Kogi State, YAHAYA Bello, has continued to be on the run from the law. Receipts have emerged online showing how allegedly he paid $845,000 for 5 children to attend the American International School of Abuja. The fees were reportedly paid in advance from the coffers of the Kogi State governor. We'll tell you about that. And the former Kogi Senator Dino Melaye and US-based Nigerian media personality Adiola Fayehun shared this claim via their respective channels on Friday. Also, the alleged monumental fraud by the ex-governor has attracted the call of Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to investigate the accounts of all states to expose governors who were using state funds to pay their children's school fees and other domestic purposes. Okay, let's get into the conversation on the show. Let me welcome very specially a senior advocate of Nigeria, our very own Barrister Olayiwola Afolabi. Once again, congratulations on your new status, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We also have with us here the former NBA chairman, Benin branch, the Lion Bar, one and only Barrister Ede Asenogwa. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, Sonny, and good morning, listeners at home.
Okay, let me begin with Barrister Alayola Afolabi. The story and the case brewing up in Kogi State, I'm sure people didn't expect this dimension. But I've heard people say the governor is being made now, if he's apprehended, to pay for the sins he committed as a governor. Can you establish that in your opinion?
Well, first and foremost, it just shows a rot in the whole system. Because for a governor to remove such a huge amount from the covers of the state treasury, that means it's not only person involved. The accountant of the state, or the state accountant general, should also be made to face the law. Because this money must be issued for a purpose. The governor cannot just go to the state treasury without support of somebody. Somebody must have signed the voucher, and if you know that this is the purpose for which this money be paid, you ought to report. It just shows a rot in the whole system. And this is not the first time but YAHAYA Bello is facing this bad news. We all remember when the federal government paid how much, about 20 billion palliatives. If other state governor make use of the money for the use of their state, the people that state, the governor put that money into a bank, is Standing Bank. But one of the local government staff, because they don't be paid, quickly alerted EFCC, and that's how EFCC got the account and quickly wrote to the Standing Bank to return the money back to the state. So it just shows a rot in the system, because I know the governor on his own cannot do it without support of a lot to emerge. And I'm sure even now the EFCC has asked all the local government chairmen to report and account for the money you collected, because some of them, most of them, what they do, maybe local government chairman is supposed to account to collect 30 billion or maybe 20 million per month, and you will not sign for the money, but they will give maybe 5 million. You must account
for the balance.
For the balance. So there's a problem. So it's a clear call for all local government chairmen to be careful, because a day is coming. You account for the money you claim to have received and which you don't receive.
That's a day of reckoning.
Because I am happy for this. The AFC chairman is trying, which will be commended. And I'm sorry, before my chairman will come.
Yeah.
You know, the trials YAHAYA Bello is so facet. You will see some so-called, I must say, they're not lawyers. It's only in Nigeria when somebody is facing corruption, you will see people will support him that is even doing well. Some people, they went on the demonstration. They said they're lawyers, but I'm happy. The NBA said, no, these are not lawyers. Because lawyers cannot be going on demonstration on the streets. Okay. Somebody collected the whole commonwealth of the state. I understand this. There's a magistrate, I won't mention a magistrate I know. They will be paid. They stop going to work and they now go to farm. In Kogi State.
A magistrate.
So he say, I'm happy with the way the EFC chairman is going, and they will go to the end.
Okay. Barrister Asenogwa, I know you've been following this case, but let's look at the grounds that has given birth to the action of the EFCC against YAHAYA Bello. I mean, for 8 years, he held sway in Kogi State like a colossus, and I'm sure he probably didn't anticipate a day like this will come. Can you give us those foundations?
Well, thank you very much, Sonny. For me, it's a sad commentary. I want to start by saying that whatever the EFCC is saying now, they still remain allegations. And I want to leave them at that realm. Okay. Because you cannot say he's guilty of them until he's tried and convicted. However, my own worry is that the EFCC, in an attempt to carry out their constitutional mandate of investigation, they have invited, they alleged they invited, because the governor, former governor, has denied ever being invited. and say, well, you didn't invite me. I'm not running away. If you have invited me, I would have come. And has gone ahead to challenge the EFCC to show evidence of that invitation. Now, whether the EFCC did invite or not, formally speaking, it is not in public glare that the EFCC is looking for you, that the EFCC wants you to come and answer some questions. You don't need to see a letter to say, oh, because you didn't give me a letter, I'm not coming. There's something wrong with that, fundamentally wrong with that, because the whole essence of a letter is to put you on notice. So now that you have notice, howsoever, what a straightforward person should do, an innocent person should do, is to go to the EFCC and say, I hear you are looking for me.
Here I am.
Here I am. Now, confront me with the allegations that you are making. Don't forget, there's a former governor, Ayofayoshe. While he was still governor, he said, I know the EFCC is looking for me. Don't worry. I will not run. And on the day he handed over, he went to the EFCC office. The man is still alive. No matter the allegation the EFCC had against him, you must try him. He must be given an opportunity to defend himself. Now, for YAHAYA Bello, you cannot now say, even if they have not given you a letter, that you are not aware that you are wanted by the EFCC. Now you are still saying, oh, I'm insisting on the rule of law. You must give me a formal letter. What kind of rule of law are you talking about? Because even today, the practice is that electronic notice, proof of service, by electronic means, telephone, SMS, the world has become digital.
It's enough to do
It's
that.
enough for you to know that you are sought. And then you are running to the courts to say, oh, they must not arrest me. They must not investigate me. They must not do this. They must not do that. It merely shows that, look, there seems to be more. You have something to hide. A skeleton in your cupboard. And what it means is that 8 years is not forever. You can be a governor today, and because the Constitution says you have immunity, does not mean that at the end of your tenure, you will not be called to account for your stewardship. And that's what is happening. The FCC has made an allegation that there is a case of about 80 billion plus that they believe that you have stolen from the coffers of Kogi State. Allegation. They have said, oh, part of that money, there is the one you paid in advance for your children in a school. And that the money was deducted from the state coffers. Now, he said in his response that, oh, it was not taken from the state coffers. Oh, beautiful. Come and prove it. Now, the school has gone ahead to say, well, look, we want to refund so and so. What they are refunding is not what was paid.
Yes.
What was paid was in excess of about $800 and something thousand dollars. And they say, oh, we are bound to return $760 because this one is in advance and we have not, but for the ones we have worked for, we have deducted. So there is no question as to whether or not money was paid.
Or money was stolen.
Or money was stolen.
Yes.
So money was taken, money went somewhere. Now, you still have a right to explain. Because the truth is, even the school have admitted that, oh, this money was paid since 2021.
Yeah.
So it's not a recent development. But now you are out of office, Mr. Former Governor. Come on, answer. So what we expect of him is to answer the EFCC and then put up his defense. At the end of the day, the court will decide whether he actually stole this money or not. So until then, let's wait and see how all of this will unfold.
Let's take a look at what's the response of ex-Governor YAHAYA Bello. Yesterday, Bello vehemently denied the allegations and vowed that he would not succumb to any blackmail to come through the back door. That's responding to YAHAYA Bello's, to the EFCC's allegations. His media aide vowed in a statement that no amount of blackmail would make him come through the back door. The statement says specifically that His Excellency YAHAYA Bello's children have attended the American International School Abuja well before he became governor, and he has paid fees for his children as and when due and without fail. He also denied that Bello didn't pay $720,000 US as being alleged by the EFCC. His Excellency Alhaji YAHAYA Bello did not pay that sum. Well, that's in the public space. Let me get Barrister Olaiwola Folabi. Where we are right now is a case of establishing a prima facie case against YAHAYA Bello. Do we have enough evidence? Do we have enough information as far as this case is concerned?
There is overwhelming evidence, overwhelming prima facie evidence. I mentioned earlier on about 20 billion paid, the state government money paid into an account in Stanbic Bank. The money has been returned back to EFCC. It denied that, oh, he never paid any money, taking money from the school, American Child School, has even agreed. That's enough evidence that they want to return the money back to EFCC because they know what is going to happen to them. And, you know, as I've said, it's an overwhelming evidence against him. And number two, even the government said, a time will come, they will for him. Because he denied that no money was missing in the state government. That no money was missing. And the same governor that went and whisked away the former governor. But I'm not surprised because if you watch the video, the day he was sworn in, he knelt publicly, he knelt down, prostrated before YAHAYA Bello. That's the first time I've seen a sitting governor lying flat down before the whole world. They show it in Kogi State. The vice president was there. So as I've said, it's the fault of the system for a governor to dip his hand into the coffer of the state treasury. That means, as I said, the accountants, and I'm happy the state EFCC will go after them. So to me, and the only problem I have, even our courts, were not IP matters. How can the courts give an order, perpetual injunction, restraining EFCC from doing their work? That judge says it should fail NJC. Because there's no, the EFCC is a statutory body. Don't like you say, we want to restrain police. You cannot restrain police. And I say it, my MD chairman is there. No court can restrain police for investigating a crime. You can't stop them. Not so, the allegations have been made. You now quickly file a corner giver order that EFCC should not arrest him. Perpetual injunction forever and ever. No, that is, when you, the judge should even face it, should be reported to NJC.
For giving such an order.
It's all, the Supreme Court has given order that no court can stop EFCC from investigating a crime. A crime will be committed. A court not give order that no court should do investigating. That's anomaly.
Okay. All right, Master, there's a part of this conversation that that is really interesting to me. The current governor, when the EFCC laid siege on his Abuja residence, that's YAHAYA Bello's Abuja residence, the current governor went there. It was alleged that he whisked him away. And up to this time, YAHAYA Bello has not been found. I mean, what is the position of the law as far as that scenario is concerned?
Well, first, I want to say, let me add something. I do not think that the order of the court was the perpetual injunction. I think it was an interim injunction. Okay.
But was it justified?
Well,
yes.
Well, I, as a person, I try to refrain making comments on cases when I am not familiar with what was filed.
Okay.
I know that he had approached the court to say, oh, the harassment, the intimidation, the persecution, and all of that, constant, you know, the court may have looked at it, but he's right. The principle of law is very firmly established. Okay. No court should stop a statutory body from carrying out its constitutional mandate. So you cannot prevent the police from investigating. But where such investigation or is taking a bit too far, the court may say, oh, pending the hearing of the motion on notice, pending when we hear the other side, we are restraining you from further doing this. So I think that's what the court did there. So it depends on what was presented, the argument that was made. Okay. I don't want to, you know,
delve into that.
Heap a blanket blame on that court for the now. Now, on the issue of going into the trying to arrest YAHAYA Bello and the governor coming in, if that allegation is true, I think what saved the governor, the sitting governor, is the fact that he enjoys immunity. As a sitting governor, you cannot be arrested.
So he can impede the course of justice.
He's wrong.
Yes, that's what it means.
He's wrong.
So he can use his immunity to impede the course of justice.
What immunity does, it's not that you are not wrong. It's not that you have not even committed an offense.
Okay.
It's saying, well, for now, while you occupy that office, you enjoy that immunity. So what he has done today, if it's been a crime, time does not run against the state. So he too may be called to question 8 years from today to have impeded the course of justice. So again, my learned senior advocate here is talking about Auditor General. I think the present governor was either the Auditor General of Kogi State when YAHAYA Bello. So it's possible he himself is enjoying this benefit because of his immunity. Because like he has rightly pointed out, so many other state actors must have been involved in the process. You know, either you participated actively in it, as governor is taking his own, you are taking your own, or because of the authority, if you don't listen to the governor, you are thrown out, and all of that. But you were a participant, and you ought to be called to answer questions. So maybe there was an understanding. Well, look, all those things that we did that time, you know, you as a governor now, you enjoy immunity. So I want to believe that it is because of the immunity that he's enjoying. The governor, again, has also come out to say, I did not whisk him. So, like I keep saying, at this stage, there are still allegations. I believe that the EFCC have a reason. They have done their investigation, they have their materials, they have their evidence, the basis upon which they are making the allegations that they are making. However it is, that allegation or those allegations are still subject to interrogation by YAHAYA Bello and his lawyers. And then the courts will now look at all the circumstances of the case and the evidence that will be adduced to say, okay, well, this is what has happened, this is right, and this is wrong. So that's the way I think it should.
Fantastic. This is like a recurring decimal in our polity where every now and then we have a highly celebrated case like what we are seeing now is there in the media space, and it becomes an integral part of what people refer to as media trial. Then all of a sudden it fizzles into thin air, it's swept under the carpet, we don't hear anything about it. Are you foreseeing that happen?
No, I don't think so.
What makes this case special?
Let me even tell you, maybe many people don't know. YAHAYA Bello tried to even appoint his own wife, who was never practiced, his own wife as a judge. All the senior advocates in Kogi State went to court. He took the intervention of the NJC to stop the appointment. All the judges he went to appoint. In Kogi, all the Okutek power of them, they went to court. Court tried to say, lawyers do have no cause. But we're happy. NJC had to stop the appointment. No. That's to show what is YAHAYA Bello. You know, to me, I don't want to say, well, I blame the previous government that gave him much latitude. You know, even when he was in Kogi, he frequented almost all Abuja. A time came, workers in Kogi were not paid. He came out, no, these people are not paid, they are political workers. We all saw what happened when, the day he was leaving the office. A woman came out, cursing him publicly, it was shown. Cursing him heavily. So to show you, even as I said, the whole senior advocates in Kogi State, they went to court to stop the appointment because they know the senior advocate, you don't have no cause. And then NJC stopped. He went to appoint his own wife as a. But
if he had succeeded, he won't be the first person to do that.
I'm coming. Yes. I'm coming. No, not that. Of course, UK wife is a judge. If you are qualified, you can be a judge.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you to know who is. We call it white lion. Everybody fear him. As I said,
well, is this a lion today? Is this a lion? Is a white lion today?
So to show you, you know, when he's going, anytime he's going to Abuja, you see more than 50 cars. And Kogi State, I don't want to say, but it's as I've said, the governor, the governor, when he was Accountant General, it was employed by EFCC. He still has his own case with EFCC.
Pending with EFCC. But now he enjoys immunity.
And that's why, people, the questioner, some people have argued that this immunity should be removed from the governor. But I still agree with those that immunity should be retained. Why? Because if a governor become to go to EFCC every day, why is the governor? It will disturb the activities of the governor. And that's that immunity is very good. But the governor too, the present governor that is in Kogi State, he will also have a date with EFCC. Because even obstructing the law officer from arresting is an offense. It's there in the EFCC Act.
Okay. All right. If you just join us, it's still Politics Today on independent television and radio. Major focus is on the case that is brewing in Kogi State, where the former governor is now on the run. He is widely called the White Lion. But we know lions don't run. They stand, and when they appear, everybody runs for cover. But today, it looks like he's changed his name. That's why this is playing out. And if he's saying that he's not guilty of all of these allegations, he's just being blackmailed, and he's not ready to stand any blackmail, just come out and go to the EFCC so we can have some quiet in the polity. And it's on record that some governors who were accused by the EFCC or allegations were against them by the EFCC, they presented themselves. I mean, Willie Obiano's case is still there, still hanging. Former Governor Ayodele Farishe is still there, and several other cases. There wasn't any drama about it. So what is responsible for this drama that is playing out around YAHAYA Bello, ex-governor of Kogi State? It only means that there's truly something to hide. If there's nothing to hide, then you just got to come out and face the music and engage the EFCC. Get your lawyers. I mean, Barrister Olayiwola Afolabi is a very sound lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Briefed now.
Engage them, and so they can
tell you engage
the case. And then, of course, we can have an insight, an inroad on the path of justice. This drama is just too much. And I'm really concerned for the children who are made to face this kind of scandalous embarrassment. Imagine how they are going to be described in the school that they attend. They may not be able to even continue their education by virtue of this incident that has played out. But let's talk about the EFCC, for example, for a moment, with the effort that the new chairman, Olukayode, is making to ensure that those who are involved in fraudulent acts are brought to justice. I mean, I saw in one of the reports the billions of naira that has been recovered in recent times. Let's just talk about that briefly.
Well, okay.
No, I'm starting with you. Yes.
Well, for me, I think from the beginning, I've been issued. That is what the EFCC is meant to do. And then if they now, maybe with a new leadership, the entire system, the EFCC structure, the EFCC machinery is working the way it ought to work, then that's something to be commended.
Okay.
For me, there is so much corruption in the system. The corruption level, I mean, in just Kogi now, we are talking about 80-point-something billion. That may just even be one. A tip of the iceberg. If we go deeper, it could be more. It could be more. And then you take it around the states. It's a big problem. And then you take it to the federal. It's a big problem. We've had, amounts even from the past government and all of that. Nigeria is so rich that with all these humongous amounts we keep mentioning, have been stolen, have been taken and all of that, it's by the grace of God that this country is even still standing. Yeah. So for me, the whole essence why EFCC was put in place in the first place is to ensure, first, that these crimes are not committed, this corruption, this stealing is checked, and then where they are committed, that they are punished. Because punishment in itself acts as a deterrent. And I expect that most of the governors today should take a lesson from what is happening presently in Kogi State. You may be enjoying immunity today. In a few years, maximum 8 years, you'll be out of office and you no longer have that benefit of that immunity. And all those offenses, all those crimes, all those stealing that you may have, perpetrated while you were in office, they will come knocking. And that's why, irrespective of your immunity, we have stated clearly, the law is that time like in civil cases, oh, there is limitation. If you don't institute your action within so and so time in a civil matter, you go to court, the court says, oh, you have slept on your right. But in a criminal matter, 20 years, 30 years, 15 years after the offense was committed, the state can still come after you. And you can answer for those offenses and can be punished for them. So for me, it's a good lesson. I expect that the EFCC, in spite of the call by the governor, White Lion, on the president that he should call the EFCC to order, I believe that this is no longer the time where you belong to a particular political party and that is immunity for you for whatever offense that you may have committed. Don't forget, we heard it that time. Come to this party and your sins are forgiven. So those are things we shouldn't see.
Okay.
And I also want to commend Mr. President, because honestly, if he had not left these things to play out naturally, and the Attorney General, don't even forget, the Attorney General has made a comment on this issue. And look, come out. There's no hiding place for you. Come out, present yourself. These are things we shouldn't tolerate or accommodate in the system. So for the presidency to allow the EFCC to do their job against a former governor who is a member of their political party, that is commendable. We must not say because you are a member of the ruling party, these things should be swept under the carpet. No. So for those, whether you are in the ruling party, you are in opposition party, it should be a lesson that, look, state money is state money, and it is meant for the development of the state and the people of the state. If you pilfer with it, a day of reckoning will come. And if you cannot take the heat, please don't commit the crime.
Fantastic. Yes,
I want to say something. You know, the non-arrest of White Lion, YAHAYA BELLO, also call into question our security apparatus. How can somebody has been on the run for more than 2 weeks or 1 week, the security cannot arrest him? You can't try in that country. Even as at now, we don't know whether he has even traveled or left the country. You know, that also calls into action the security apparatus of the government. You can't try that in other countries because they will get you. No matter you are, they will get you. But here in Nigeria, you know, we don't even know why maybe it's in Edo State, because the code is so large, and you know, this when you call this data, we have been talking even the former during the former past government say, oh, we should do our data. Biometrics. Still, kidnapping is good. People are still using banks to collect money. Are they being arrested? So that calls into question the security apparatus of the country. The president should do something about the security apparatus. Where is he now? Has there been any trace of him? That calls into question the credibility of our security status.
Okay. Now, if I may just say something on that one. Sorry, sir.
Yes.
I think there was a time, even the EFCC said he was hiding inside the government house. You know, like I said, the government house is like a fortress.
For him.
For him.
Yes. Because
the police, the EFCC, they were just merely surrounding his house. Okay, let him come out. They already knew he was there. And then the governor came. Because the governor enjoys immunity. He was able to move them out.
Are you saying the government house?
Well, there was a time we heard that news.
That he was in the government house.
Yes, that he was taking refuge within the government house premises. And so you don't expect the police or the EFCC to storm the government house. And go and pick him out. So to that extent, let us still believe that. Because if we were an ordinary person who is not in government, I'm very sure that by now
it would have been picked.
It would have been picked.
So I was talking about the impact of the new EFCC chairman in terms of living up to the mandate of the organization.
Actually, he has tried. You know, if you know what corruption does to any nation, it can. You know, I remember, I don't want to mention a politician, very popular. I don't want to mention his name. He's late now. He said, government is like an elephant. Go there, you cut your own. Another person cut your own. That's what they believe. It's like government. But, you know, corruption, you know, the basic things that ordinary citizens to enjoy. Go to Kogi State. Each time you are even passing that place, you have to be very careful. No functional school. Imagine magistrate not being paid. I remember a chief judge, Justice Agileye, he ran away from the state. So corruption, you know, it destroys so many things. There will be no good doctors, no functional education. So many things will be done, and I'm happy. Listen, it's not last week. The EFCC chairman, money illegally collected from the state government were returned back to any good state government. And then until today now, the EFCC chairman are refused to return that 20 billion palliative to Kogi, because they know if you tell me it will go back to the same place. So we commend him. He's doing a good job.
All right. Why is it so difficult for people who have the opportunity to be in public office not to learn from the mistakes of others? Why is it so difficult? I mean, take, for example, state governors. It's a recording decimal. Every now and then, a governor is leaving. Such a governor, in most cases, will always have an answer. I mean, have a question to answer with the EFCC. It's always happening. Why is it so difficult?
It is still corruption. Corruption. Now, sometimes, and that's why I talked just now about punishment serving as deterrent. I do not know how many of our governors, really speaking, have been really punished after they left office. There was a governor in this country, he left office, there were allegations made, they went to court, nothing happened. But that same governor went outside the country, was tried, and was sentenced. The same offenses. We have seen cases where the sitting governor will tell you that our money was not missing.
Like
the case is dead on arrival.
Nothing happened. You know, the money it was not missing. And then there was trial outside the country. Money was recovered. They are bringing the money back to the country. You say it's our money. Bring it to our state. In this system, we have a situation where they say go and commit the crime first. Let them go to court. Let them go to court. Because they just believe that they will be able to waggle their way, meander their way through the judicial system and go unscathed.
You are indebting our judiciary.
Yeah, because I'm also going to make the question.
Yes.
No, is corruption in the judiciary not also helping to fester?
And that's why when I said the major reason is corruption.
Okay, generally speaking.
Generally speaking, an average politician believes that they can get whatever they want from the courts. Average politician. And that's why, even when they lose an election, they must go to the tribunal. You must go to the tribunal. Go and test it there. Go and see what will happen there. Not necessarily because they believe they have a case, but because they believe in the possibility of buying judgment. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they do not, depending on the character and personality of the people that constitute that panel. So, but they will always give it a try. They will always give it a try because they believe. And then the other man who is winning says, no, don't worry. Go and win on the field. Kill who you have to kill. Steal ballot papers if you have to. Stop the ballot boxes if you have to. But let us win and be in office, then let them go to court. So at the end of the day, a lot depends on the judiciary. The judiciary must wake up. They must rise up to their responsibility of punishing crimes where they deserve to be punished. And then for us lawyers, you know, we also must learn. I was just talking just now that
if he has
Afolabi seems to be very bitter with the white lion right now. And if the white lion, he lives here now, he picks a call, Mr. Afolabi, look, I want to brief you to represent me. Maybe in 2 weeks time, he comes here, he will not say some facts have come to my knowledge. New facts have been made that I believe that.
But I think that the issue of the judiciary living up to the expectations of the people is very germane.
It's key.
I mean, you recall the story of Senator Godswill Akpabio, the current Senate president.
Yes.
The case of Senator Ahmed Lawan. I'm trying to remember a former resident electoral commissioner. He was in Edo State here. I'm trying to remember his name now. Barrister Mike Guinea was so sure that those guys will not have any business with the 9th Senate. But they are there. They are there as we speak. How did it happen? You recall Senator Rocha Sokorocha had to tell Lawan, please, you got to teach me how you were able to do this thing. That against all odds, you are in the Senate. So saying that the judiciary needs to wake up, I don't think that it's a wrong call. It's just saying the obvious. Mr. Falabi.
You know, I don't want to comment on that matter because it's a judgment of Supreme Court. And being a senior advocate, I can't be coming here to be abusing the Supreme Court. But I know it was a split decision.
Okay.
And even one of the justices, when she was retiring, he made reference to that judgment of Ahmed Lawal in particular, and said that judgment going to haunt us forever. A woman, when she was retiring, he mentioned it. So I'm not part of the panel. Sorry, I'm not part of the lawyers. The only one I know about Akpabio, I know in one of the matters, the party later conducted another by-election. But I know in the case of Ahmed Lawal, there was something like that.
Okay.
But you know, in the case of Akpabio, there was a by-election. I say, oh, that the Congress that led to the emergence of the opponent was cancelled. Okay. But the issue of Ahmed Lawal, it was a... we're not surprised. Even when,
but when people say that lawyers are also part of the problem, I think I want to concur because you guys just have a way of explaining the issues in a very strange and peculiar way that everything sits properly and then everything is okay.
You aren't a lawyer.
Anyway, that's on the side. Now, what are lessons learned? What are lessons to be learned? Because we have governors in the saddle now. Maybe in the next 4 years, next 8 years, we'll be out of what are lessons to be learned? Let me get a take on that.
Well, the lesson to be learned by every governor, every city governor, is that be careful because there will be a day of reckoning. Like what is happening in Kogi. Kogis, they are written to about a land that only 5 of the local government chairmen have come. The other have refused to come. In Kogi State, 5 of them have applied to EFCC. You know, when the governor was stealing the fund, he was not stealing the fund alone. He worked with the Qatar General, even with local government chairmen.
So they're partners in crime.
They are partners. So always remember, you know, a day will come. And, you know, there's only a way to fund that crime. It's true, you know, that money cannot be collected by cash. It's by transfer. Yeah. And if you go to the FCC, they have the account of all the banks. In fact, how did they get to know about the 20 billion sent by the president of Kogi State? It was a local government staff that reported to EFCC that this money had been moved to Stanley Bank, and they quickly reported. So you cannot the EFCC have all the accounts. They have it. All the state government accounts, the EFCC have it. As the money being transferred, they are monitoring it. So it's very difficult. It's very easy to steal, but they will get you. So the lesson is that all local government chairmen, especially the Commissioner for Finance, you must be careful. When the government is telling you, please do it like this, be careful because the day is coming. Like all the Commissioner for Finance in local government during the YAHAYA BELLO have been invited. He has made statements. So the lesson that be careful. When the government is telling you, do this, be careful because the day is coming. They will invite all the Commissioner of Finance. All right. The box stop on them.
Table. All right.
Are you saying they should be careful in how they steal it?
No.
Are you saying they should be careful?
No, what's your take on the role of some civil servants in all of this? Because that's very, very key. Because some say without the roles being played by civil servants, some of these things that we're saying will be impossible.
No, that's a statement of fact because it's paperwork. It's paperwork. And then the governor does not carry file from table to table. If the governor is interested in taking money from any source, there must be some paper arrangement. Sometimes you see that, I think it was the present governor of Abia State who said he conducted an audit and then saw some billions of naira that was used for airport.
Airport in Abia.
In Abia. And that he has spent time, he's looking around, he's driving around to look for the airport. That was about 8 billion or something that was used to. The paperwork is there. The file is there. And that because he's using local intelligence, he's yet to discover the airport. And people have said that he should use artificial intelligence to identify the airport. So, truth be told, without the civil servants, without those little movement of files, the money cannot leave. And so, because they play that role, but like I have also said, there's authority. Some of these people, they just obey commands. Instructions and directives. They cannot, they may go and be saying, see what is happening, see what is, but they cannot prevent themselves from doing it, because if you do that, somebody else will do it, and you can lose your job, you can be punished, you can be dismissed, and all of that. So the real parties, they need to be careful.
Let's open our studio line. And so, yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning.
My name is Pastor Felix from Obiano State.
All right, Pastor Felix, go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk about the former governor of Kogi State.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the high.
Go ahead.
If there's no currency in his cupboard, why must he be hiding? Because there's a currency in his cupboard that's hiding from the EFCC from arresting him. So I think come out to face this building. And secondly, our judiciary, one of the parents speak about the judges, the way they handle matters in this country. They will turn matter, turn it at the end. The person that will do first become the last. So let the judiciary put the house in order and let the truth be the truth. Then why the other man who is running away to come out and play the music.
Okay. All right.
This is how to do this morning. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Well, just to put on the record that the judges don't just decide to turn case around. It depends on what you bring before them and the evidence provided, how you're able to argue your case, that they make pronouncements on any case. So if you have a lawyer who is now as sound as the two gentlemen we have here, former NBA chairman, Benin Branch, and now a senior advocate of Nigeria, and several others out there, you just go to the court and discover that you have a wishy-washy case, and then of course the rest is history. Our studio number is 08077770300. That's the number right now. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Go ahead with your contribution. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello. Good morning, Sonny. My name is Friday. I'm calling from Rama Park. Good morning to you, Barrister Aga Falabi and the gentleman in the studio.
Okay, Barrister Ide Asanogwa, please go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Let me start with myself. If it is me, the agencies is looking for, even though I run to my mother's belly, they will make sure my mother give birth to me or they will immediately. You cannot tell me the security agencies does not have the capacity, because he is the current government immunity cover. He's not YAHAYA BELLO any longer.
Yeah.
Two, the current governor went to Abuja to rescue YAHAYA BELLO. He did not go with area boys in Kogi. He went there with security agencies too. The command, when IG of police give a command to police, governor give a command, the police should respect the IG command, not the governor. Because the IG should order those people, police, that allow YAHAYA BELLO to live, to go and provide YAHAYA BELLO wherever he is.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And YAHAYA BELLO, his first son, you see, who wants to see, we see it. His first son, he did not spend a dime before he become a governor. Oh, look what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand me? And
Yeah.
they should try and do this, because this will stand as a deterrent to other police officers. They should bring them to book. Please, don't tell me I want to give special thanks to Olawale Falabi, because he helped me one time ago.
Wow.
He knows Mr. Friday is with that we should help.
Wow.
He
Wow.
tried to steal my boss.
Wow.
Brother who said it without pain. I
Wow.
want to give special thanks to him.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
All right.
I'm your boy.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm sure you heard. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, our studio number 08077770300. That's the studio number. Dial it right now, right away, and let's get your take. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Sonny.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to analysts in the studio there.
Good morning.
This is Solomon Ataga.
Solomon, please go ahead.
He has not been to a case that anything that involves the politicians in our country, at the end of it is an allegation of led. So that's going to be the story that we ever hear. But as far as the citizen is concerned, all these many issues have been swept into carpet. At the end of the day, they say there is no concrete evidence. As far as we are concerned, YAHAYA BELLO is owing the money that belongs to the welfare of the citizens of Kogi State. Whether they are jailing him or investigating him, that money now is being in his hands, should be returned to the workers of Kogi people. Not every time will be plain politics. And the immunity we are talking of, immunity covering, the way Nigeria are now, this immunity the governors are parading, I don't believe it's favoring the country. Whereby because of immunity, when you are criminal, you can be defended and all that. So common mind is still the arrest, no immunity for them. So the citizens we are not after, or we are not after what they judge, and that money should be returned to the Kogi citizens. That state is very poor, and then the workers have been suffering. 30,000 becomes a problem to see individual at the end of one person. If the something delay allegation, what does the school fees be paid to the children that they have already returning now?
Okay.
It's also allegation.
Okay.
So you should come out and face the query.
Is it allegation?
We know we are very comfortable with our not defending law. Any further.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Quite interesting. 08077770300. That's our studio number. Caller, good morning. You are next on the program. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Solitu.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning.
My name is Mr. Jala calling from Cecilia.
Go ahead.
Let me say that this, your audio is very poor.
Okay.
When two people are talking, you hardly able to hear me.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
trying to complain. When two people are talking at the same time, the audio is very difficult.
Okay. Now, where are you following the program? Is it on radio or television? On radio.
So when people are talking class,
Okay.
the
Okay.
audio is very poor, sir.
Okay. Our engineers will look at it right away and then make some adjustments.
Thank you.
All right.
YAHAYA BELLO is learning from Mr. Adili in the case of court injunction. I remember Mr. Adili went to court and said perpetual injunction. Don't try me for life. So YAHAYA BELLO is taking that gas. So the thing is this. There's a law in Nigeria, I don't understand about the crime in Nigeria, about the money laundering. A government will share your Nigeria. We only get to 3 to 5 years in jail. Why have we gone to the Duke response and we go to life imprisonment? So what kind of law is that? Our feeling to do the needful. Change our law that when you are corrupt, 30 years, 50 years, then you will fight for office for 30 years. That's the kind of law I want to see in Nigeria. Not the one I will turn to the Duke response and go for life imprisonment. Then I will be embezzled money in government that will go to 3 to 5 years. I'm not against that kind of law. Thank you very much for the Duke.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. That should be our last call. Okay, let's just take this one, our last call for today on the program. Good morning, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Abdul Adam. I'm from Pakistan.
Abdul Mumini Adam, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Pakistan.
Mpape in Abuja. Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, Abuja, yes.
Go ahead.
Issue of the YAHAYA BELLO. So, YAHAYA BELLO, if you don't want to jail YAHAYA BELLO, maybe, I don't think the room will remain. Because when you are collecting, just civil servants, when you are collecting like, let's say you are collecting like 100,000 a month, I'm going to pay you 17,000. If you are collecting 50,000, they are going to pay you 7,000 naira.
It's true.
If you are collecting 150,000 a month, they are going to pay you 20,000. If you have a discourse community, see how we are going to do it. Tomorrow, I don't think that you where you are doing, you can't get your salary. That 7,000 way that is pay you that.
No, stop it.
Everywhere. And then this government chairman, if you government the campaign, you will see it for paper. They will give local government, let's say they will give local government 150 million. But the rest of the day, the month, they will give, how much are you paying your workers? How much are you paying your district? If you have million, give you 25 million for your workers, 5 million for your own. What of the remaining 120 million? Is going with. Before, local government, when they do government for their school government, they will put lacras, the places, I was, look, oh God, Papa, oh God, where are we heading to? In local government before, that they employ. That's why all these bandits, where they be talking, if you say local government, they give them their money. You think the bandits go everywhere? Because local government before, common councillor, they employ. But now, local government, they not being employed. Because they are not getting money. Before all this, their private hospital, local government, they will supply in the end of the day when the budget comes, they will pay for the contractor. But now, they are not doing a place where government help.
Okay.
Goodbye.
All right. Thank you, Abdul Mumini. Thank you. I mean, that just it gave a different flavor and flavor to the conversation about the realities in Kogi State, and we've also alluded to that. And just to make this point that if the FCC would investigate thoroughly the inflows and outflows in local governments across the Federation, no governor will go scot-free. It looks like local government funds has become the cash cow for most state governors to do whatever they like. But I think it's high time the EFCC really looks at that in a very robust manner so we can know, so we can actually bring governance closer to the people. At the moment, governance at the grassroots level, at local government level, does not exist if we go by the things that have been happening. You have instances where some governors will just be in the saddle for up to 3 years, no elected executive. They just have some critical guys there, and then they do whatever they want to do. And how can the country grow? We're supposed to have 3 tiers of government: the federal, the state, and the local government. While the federal is doing its role, the state same, but local government, they are just appendages tied to the apron strings of the state governors. This cannot continue. The days of yore where local government chairmen will construct roads, build markets, build hospitals, and do all sort of things, they are no longer there, because when you go around, once local government council chairmen, they are able to pay salaries, they celebrate. What about grading? What about roads? What about markets? What about hospitals? Things need to change if we've got to move this country forward. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show, Barrister Edia Senogwan. Always delight to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And our new senior advocate of Nigeria, brand new Barrister Alayiwola Afolabi. Not just that you're also a lawyer of immeasurable repute, your philanthropic work is also speaking for you.
Thank you.
I mean, we just heard that from one of our callers, how you render a pro bono service without asking for money. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's our package today on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. We hope you had a great time with us. Be sure to join us next week, Saturday. We'll be back here. I want to say big thanks to all our contributors who participated via telephone. Thank you very much. And to all our crew members, thank you for making the show a huge success. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.